Sound of an emergency siren. Hey everyone, your name here. Things are getting real out there. We're talking about the future of our nation, something that impacts every single one of us. Today we're diving into the stability of our United States. We're going state by state, analyzing the factors pushing some of them to a breaking point. Welcome back, preppers. Today we have an urgent update for you. These are the 10 U.S. states on the brink of collapse in 2024. Stay tuned and make sure to watch till the end. California, the Golden State, land of Hollywood dreams, tech giants, and sadly a whole lot of potential problems. I'm talking wildfires that rage across the landscape, leaving devastation in their wake. We've seen the images, folks, entire communities reduced to ash. But it's not just the fires. The economy in California is teetering on the edge. Income inequality is staggering. Housing costs are through the roof, and let's not even get started on the drought. Add in the ever-present threat of earthquakes and you've got a recipe for disaster. And then there's the political climate. Deep divisions, protests, and a sense of growing unrest. Is California on the brink? I sure hope not. Next up, we're heading east to the city that never sleeps. New York City, the beating heart of New York State. Now, I love New York. The energy, the diversity, the pizza, it's incredible. But even the most vibrant cities can face serious challenges. We're talking about a city grappling with a growing homeless population, struggling with aging infrastructure, and facing a cost of living that's pushing many to their breaking point. Remember that massive power outage a few years back? That was a stark reminder of just how vulnerable our infrastructure really is. And then there's the crime. It's no secret that crime rates in some parts of the city are on the rise. New York is resilient, but the challenges are piling up. The question is, can the city that never sleeps keep up? Let's talk about Illinois, the land of Lincoln, known for its vast prairies, its vibrant city of Chicago, and unfortunately its massive budget problems. We're talking billions and billions of dollars in debt, folks. This budget crisis has real-world consequences. Schools are struggling, social services are being cut, and people are leaving the state in droves. It's a brain drain that's only making things worse. And then there's the issue of corruption. Illinois has a long and sordid history of political corruption. Is there hope for Illinois? It needs serious reforms, and it needs them fast. Otherwise, it risks becoming a cautionary tale of what happens when government fails its people. Texas, the Lone Star State, known for its wide open spaces, its independent spirit, and well, its love of doing things its own way. But that go-it-alone attitude might be coming back to bite them. Let's start with the obvious, the power grid. We all remember what happened last year when that winter storm knocked out power to millions of Texans. People were freezing in their homes, and the state was woefully unprepared. Then there's the issue of water. Texas is facing a growing water crisis, with droughts becoming more frequent and more severe. And with a rapidly growing population, that problem is only going to get worse. Texas has become a hotbed of political extremism, with divisive rhetoric and policies that seem designed to alienate rather than unite. Texas is a proud state with a lot to offer, but it's also a state facing some serious challenges. Florida, the Sunshine State, home to beautiful beaches, theme parks galore, and increasingly the threat of climate change. We're talking rising sea levels, more frequent and intense hurricanes, and extreme heat that's making life unbearable. Let's be clear. Florida is on the front lines of the climate crisis. We've seen the images of flooded streets in Miami, the devastation caused by hurricanes like Irma and Michael. But it's not just the environment that's at risk. Florida's economy is heavily reliant on tourism, and climate change is already starting to impact that. Beaches are eroding, coral reefs are dying, and the threat of hurricanes is enough to scare away even the most dedicated sunbather. Florida has a large and growing wealth gap, with many struggling to make ends meet, while a select few live in luxury. Florida is a beautiful and diverse state, but it's also a state at a crossroads. It can either choose to address the challenges of climate change and inequality head-on, or it can continue to bury its head in the sand. Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, a state steeped in history, home to rolling hills, bustling cities, and unfortunately, a whole lot of problems. Let's start with the economy. Pennsylvania has struggled to adapt to the changing economic landscape, with manufacturing jobs disappearing and leaving behind struggling communities. The opioid epidemic has hit Pennsylvania particularly hard, further exacerbating these challenges. Pennsylvania's roads, bridges, and public transportation systems are in dire need of repair. Remember that bridge collapse in Pittsburgh? That was a wake-up call. Pennsylvania has become a swing state in recent elections, highlighting the deep political divisions that exist within the state. Pennsylvania is a state with a rich history and a bright future, but it needs to address these challenges head-on if it wants to thrive. Michigan, the Great Lakes state, known for its automotive industry, its beautiful lakes and forests, and sadly its struggling economy and crumbling infrastructure. Detroit, once a symbol of American industrial might, has become a cautionary tale of what happens when industries decline and cities fail to adapt. While there have been some efforts at revitalization, Detroit still faces significant challenges, including poverty, crime, and a shrinking population. Michigan has struggled to attract new industries, and many of its residents are struggling to make ends meet. The Flint water crisis was a stark reminder that even basic necessities like clean water can't be taken for granted. Michigan needs to find a way to revitalize its economy and rebuild its infrastructure. Ohio, the Buckeye State, a microcosm of the Midwest with its farms, factories, and families. But Ohio is also a state facing some serious challenges. The opioid epidemic has hit Ohio particularly hard, devastating communities and tearing families apart. Ohio has also seen a decline in manufacturing jobs, leaving many workers unemployed and struggling to find new opportunities. The state's economy has been slow to recover from the Great Recession, and many residents are feeling left behind. Ohio is a state with a strong sense of community and a lot to offer, but it needs to find a way to address the opioid crisis and revitalize its economy. New Jersey, the Garden State, known for its beautiful beaches, its bustling cities, and unfortunately its high taxes and struggling economy. New Jersey has one of the highest tax burdens in the nation, which has driven many residents and businesses out of the state. This has created a vicious cycle, as the shrinking tax base has made it even more difficult for the state to fund essential services. New Jersey is also struggling with a high cost of living, which makes it difficult for many families to make ends meet. New Jersey is a state with a lot to offer, but it needs to find a way to reduce its tax burden and create new opportunities for its citizens. If it wants to thrive in the years to come, it must become more business-friendly. Louisiana, the Pelican State. Known for its unique culture, its delicious food, and sadly its vulnerability to natural disasters and its struggling economy. Louisiana is located in a hurricane-prone region, and the state has been hit by several devastating storms in recent years, including Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Rita, and Hurricane Ida. These storms have caused billions of dollars in damage and have displaced thousands of residents. Louisiana is also facing a coastal erosion crisis, as rising sea levels and sinking land are threatening to swallow up entire communities. The state is losing land at an alarming rate, and the problem is only going to get worse in the years to come. Louisiana needs to find a way to protect itself from natural disasters and address its coastal erosion crisis. Stay safe, stay prepared. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I know it's a lot to take in. The truth is, the future of our nation is uncertain. But here's the thing, I'm an optimist. If we work together, we can overcome these challenges and build a better future for ourselves and our children. Thanks for watching, preppers. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates.